Hi everyone, in the last lecture we discussed about the how to print on terminal side and string like that, and data types and variables and keywords and all the rules related to variables, how to write a good name. In this lecture we discuss about the how to take user input from the specifically keyboard and print the output on the terminal side. And in this lecture also we resolve the three problems: sum of two numbers, average of three numbers, and calculate simple interest. But before moving the lecture, please solve the assignment number 3 so you can get the confidence about this lecture. Okay, let's write the boilerplate in code C file and then we move next. First of all, we include the header file as include stdio.h. This is the header file of our C program header file, and write the int main, which is the main function, return 0. Whenever you want to take an input from user, you need a function. The name of the function is Scanf. Scanf actually extract from the input output header file. Okay. They also need a format specifier. Let's write a program for the sum of two numbers, and also I teach the how to take inputs. Sum of two numbers. How do I write a sum of two numbers? It's very easy. First of all, we take the input, first num, as the input. Okay. Then we take second num as the input. Then we store the sum inside sum variable. Okay. Then we simply print the sum. Okay. So that is a basic procedure of how to take input and output of two sum program. Okay. Or sum of two numbers. So how to write? So let's first of all printf on the screen. Enter any two numbers. Okay. Let's define a two number. Int first num and second num and sum. Okay. Then we take the next input from user side. Input from keyboard. Okay. I already said for the input you can use the scanf function. Scanf. And what you take? First num and second num. You take n types of input. Putting by the comma in the scanf function. Okay, can you tell me what is the type of first num? Is int. Now what is the format specifier of int? Is the %d. And second num is also int. So format specifier for the int is a %d. But whenever you take the input, please put the ampersand before the variable name. Why? Because it is a represent to address. Okay. So I write the comment ampersand represents for address of variable in memory. Give me a second, I close the dialog. Okay. So first num and second num we take the input, then we store in the sum. Okay. So sum is equals to first num plus second num. Wrong spelling. Okay. Sorry, my bad. This. And then next we print the sum. Okay. Printf and sum. And what is type of sum is %d. Before you can write the your sum is %d. Let's press the Ctrl S for the save the file and run the command. But before moving run the file, we change our first directory. What happened? Okay. First outside of the directory and run the command. What is the command? gcc first.c -o for output file in the same directory first and end. Run the executable file. And two numbers 4 and 5. Your sum is 9. Let's again run the command. 3 and 0. Your sum is 3. 5 and 23 is 28. It means our program is running correctly. Okay. Let's delete all the space. Let's revise the program. If you want to take any input in the C, use the scanf function. For the scanf function, you need to format a specifier and header file. Okay. We write our first program sum of two numbers. Okay. What is the control flow? First we take the first num, take the second num, and store in the sum variable. Then we print the sum. We write on the terminal, enter any two numbers for the user. User enter two numbers in this line 25. In 27, we store the sum of two numbers, then we print. Let's solve the second question, average of three numbers. Okay. So I create the second file for this assignment. Sorry, this question. Second.c. First copy the question. Can anyone tell me how to find average of three numbers? It's very easy. I'll give an example. Like average, find for 1 plus 5 plus 6 by 3. That is the average of three numbers. 5 plus 10, 10 plus 1, 11. We can one thing put the 2. So answer is the 4. So sum of all numbers divided by number of num or integer. If we take integer input, let's write the header file first and boilerplate code of C. stdio dot h is the in the main. Then we will return 0. Okay. So define the three num in first num, second num and third num. Printf on the screen and any three number. Okay. Enter any three numbers. So user give the input in scanf function. First num, second num, third num. First num is also integer. We put the %d for the format specifier %d. We use the scanf function, so we must use the ampersand for the referencing the address in the memory and store in the average variable. Average variable can be float because average can be integer or float. So float v average is equals to first num plus second num plus third num divided by 3. Okay. And printf %d %f because average is a float. And we can write answer %f. Let's save the file and run the same command, but we change second, right? The second, also second here, and this is also second. Enter 3 number 3 4 5. Answer is 4 point, which is correct because 3 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 by 3 is the 4 point approx. 1 2 3 is that 2. Okay, so this is the very easy. You can also define the percent to f, point to f. So we can get the until 2-digit answer. So you can get easily. Let's revise the code. First line, line number 10, we define 3 num, first num, second num, and third number. Okay. Then we take the user input from the terminal side, store all the variables and find out our average. Then we print out our average. Okay. So that is very easy. Third question is, wait, calculate simple interest. In your class 6, we already learned about the simple interest. What is simple interest? Let's create the file first. For the simple interest, what is our control flow? First, we define the PNR, and then R. Principal amount, total number, N, and what is the rate, or you can N for the number of months or time. First, we give the statement on the terminal. Write the PNR or give a PNR. Okay, so give PNR for calculating simple interest. Okay, in second line, we take the input from user. Third line, we store and calculate the SI, simple interest. Then we print. That is simple. Let's write the first header file first. Into main function and return 0. Okay. What is the control flow? Define PNR. Okay. So int P and R. Give PNR for the calculating simple interest on the terminal side. So we can use printf and copy hold the line. Second, we'll take the input from user. Okay, so also very easy. So we take the input, so we must use the ampersand for the reference our address in memory. So P ampersand and ampersand R. Okay, and all our PNR is integer, so we can use %d, %d, %d. Then we store and calculate the SI. Int SI, float SI, because simple interest can be in float decimal. So how we calculate is very easy. P into N into R, or divided by 100. Sorry, 1000. And then we print. Okay. So printf, %f, and SI. Why is there a return 0? Okay, save the file. First clear all the thing. Let's first create our binary. So GCC third dot c hyphen o for output, and we find out our output in the scanf directory. Okay, third, and then sorry, and then run our executor file 3, 4 and 10. Okay, 3, 4, 10 is the coming to 0. Why 0? Let's find out. First we can print. Oh, I understand, because amount is too much lesser than simples, or we say in the real life. So 30,000. So that is the correct answer. Okay, so you can easily understand all the things about how to take inputs and the print out. Let's revise the code. First we declare the PNR for the calculating the simple interest. We then print our statement on the terminal. Then we take the user input from keyboard. Then we calculate, and then we print. Okay. Wait for a while. I created for the assignment, so you can practice easily. First question is wait for a while. Your first question is to take the user input and print this statement. Okay. Second question is the same. Third question is also same. So very easy question, you can solve in 30 to 40 minutes if you are a beginner. If you are experienced, then you can solve in easily 20 minutes. Okay. So let's commit, hold the code, Control Shift G, and add lecture number 04. First we wait for synchronizing. Okay, so thanks, bye.